Well, well, well. Look who hasn't been vlogging lately. Honestly, I've been working like 70 hours a week. Mostly doing background. That's the thing about LA. It's like, in between commercials and film, a lot of people here will wait tables or, I don't know, serve coffee or stuff like that. I decide to do background work, which is simultaneously motivating and deeply depressing because, let's be real, they treat you like shit most of the time. I worked on this film yesterday where the building that we were shooting on was supposed to be like a proxy for the Capitol building in DC. And they put me in these shoes that were like an inch narrower than my actual feet, because, you know, I'm a human, and they were like falling apart because they were actual vintage shoes from the 70s. So they hurt to begin with, and I told wardrobe and I asked if I could get different shoes, and they're like, oh, just take your regular shoes to set and then wear them until you're about to do a take. Because I had like a prop purse too, and I'm like, okay, but I've been on sets where we are in position and or filming for 16 hours with the exception of a half-hour break. So you could plausibly be filming for that entire time. And I knew this, and, you know, I said I'd really rather have another pair of shoes, and they didn't care. So I had these shoes on. And then we went to one location, we filmed some random stuff, and then we went to the second location, which is where these stairs were, and of course, they put me at the very top of the stairs, and the second AD told me, okay, on background, you start walking this way, you walk down the stairs this way, and when you get to the bottom, you turn right. That's fine. No big deal. So like 3 or 4, usually you'll do a couple of rehearsals, where you're just kind of like plotting everything out. You rehearse for camera, and then you do a few takes. We did like 9 rehearsals, and every time you get to the bottom, to the sidewalk, they'd be like, cut, reset, and then you have to like haul ass to the top of the stairs really fast because you don't want to be the person holding up the shot. The running up the stairs was not the hard part. The hard part was that my feet started bleeding because of the shoes. Yeah. And I couldn't take them off because, like, I did have pantyhose on, but they're so thin and the ground was so filthy there. I was not going to get a staph infection for this film. Plus, my feet were, like, bleeding at a certain point, and when you have open cuts, like, you don't want whatever's on the ground to be in your bloodstream because you can legit die. So we did, like, our 9 rehearsals, and we're like, okay, we're going to do a take. Let's do it. So we did a take, reset. We did another take, reset. We did another take, reset. Did another take, reset. We're like, okay, we should be done soon. Another take. 37 takes later, I am like about to lose my mind. They had water for us at the first location. They had no water for us at the second location. And we did take after take after take. So even when we asked the PAs for water, they'd be like, we're gonna do a take. We can't do anything. You're not human. It took like 2 hours of continuous takes to get this one shot. Inexplicably. And it wasn't even like a real shot with the actual actors. It was a pickup shot. Like, they filmed this movie 6 months ago or something. And they messed up and they needed this one shot that they missed. So they had basically like doubles because they were only seeing the backs of the main characters going up the stairs. These poor doubles, like one of them fell 3 times. So those were like 3 takes automatically that we couldn't use. But like, they were tired, they were wearing suits. We were all wearing polyester from the 70s. and like it doesn't breathe and you just get hotter and sweatier, and there was no water. Yeah. So then we didn't shoot for a very long day, but by the time we broke for lunch, I was so incredibly dehydrated. We went back to holding. There was no water in holding. I asked like 3 different PAs. There was no water anywhere. And then finally a PA's like, oh, there's a jug at the end of the table, the lunch table. So the lunch line was about 300 feet long, so I was just gonna wait. And honestly, I was so nauseous from the heat sickness that I could not eat anyway. I was just trying to find water. I go to the jug at the end of the table. There's one with iced tea, which I can't have because caffeine makes me crazy and it gives me palpitations. And honestly, like if I had had it then, I definitely would have been sick. There was another one that had lemonade, so I poured some lemonade and I tried to drink it, but it probably had like 3 times as much of the mix in it as it should have, so it was like pure sugar and I almost puked. It took me a half hour just to find 1 bottle of water. And then eventually they actually brought out a jug of water for like the 250 background actors that they had there, who were all wearing polyester and all overheated. We had just been filming in the sun and it was 90 degrees out. I know it's autumn, but it is hot in LA. It's hot. Yeah. And honestly, like that's a pretty average day doing background. I worked a lot on one show that was really nice, and like when you can be a series regular on a TV show, it is good because like the crew gets to know you. And sometimes it's this way in San Francisco, and it's almost always this way in LA, where when you arrive on set, if you're an actor, the crew does not like you. They just don't. They start off deeply disliking you until you prove that you're not an idiot, basically. Let's just say idiot. And I get it, like, actors are some of the worst people on the planet, but the way I treat people is I'll be nice to you unless you show me that I don't want anything to do with you, and then I'll just flat out ignore you. But like, it's just exhausting because you arrive on set, you're treated like shit right out of the gate, you're treated like you're dumb, like you need to just shut up, and most of the crew is gonna do everything they can to not speak to you because they hate you. For no reason. Basically just because you're an actor. Which I understand, but you could at least just like be nice to begin with until we do something wrong. Like, just be nice. So, I mean, like one day of that is not so bad, but I've been working so much. I worked 70 hours last week, and like, the one show that I've been working on I really like, and it's not like that, but every other gig I've had this last week has been like that, and it's exhausting. It's exhausting when you spend that many hours being treated that way. And like, there was another set that I was on where they didn't even have like craft services for us, so like we'd have to sneak over around the corner to the crew's craft services just to get something to drink. We went so far into overtime that the company, like, we don't really have bathrooms on set all the time. A lot of times we have like these trailers that have little bathroom stalls on them, like fancy porta potties. And it got so late into overtime that the company that dropped off the toilets came and like took them away. So we didn't even have toilets after a certain point, and we just have to like sneak around to try and get a drink of water. And yeah, there are laws against that, and there are unions to protect us, but basically we get treated like shit until someone calls the union, and the union sends a rep to set, and they talk to the production coordinator and have them treat us like humans. That's usually how it is, like 75% of the time. It's really frustrating. So that's what I'm doing with my life right now. Yeah. Anyway, it's a means to an end. I just need to save up enough to join the union, and then I'll at least get paid a living wage to be doing this shit. And I mean, like, I am booking better stuff in between all this, but there are weeks when like you don't book a commercial, or you don't book something that you have actual lines in, and you're basically a prop. You're scenery. and they treat you like it. That is the reality of the industry that I chose to be a part of. Yeah.